Lately, we've been talking a lot about the risk of some kind of retracement. Now, that risk of a retracement is something that we've talked about a lot, but considering that we are outside of a monthly expected move, that would be a good thing to still pay attention to. But in this video, we're going to talk about how there's kind of a perfect storm taking place here for a big move to come. Not just because of some of these indicators and how they are shaped up, and how really, if we pay attention to a few key confirmations, we might be able to react and be a part of a move, even if it's up or down. We know that the tightness of the market, a big move is coming, and some other things can add into that. And that would be this right here, the Fed press conference right after the Fed interest rate decision. That morning, you will get some data, but I think that a lot of people are paying attention to these things right in here. Obviously, people really want to know what rates are doing. And as we go click over to rates, we've talked about this for quite some time. The daily chart was able to confirm in the upward direction today, suggesting that we can do what with these rates? Test the high and go make a new one. So I wanted you to be aware of this early on in the video, that the 10-year yield here, and we're just going to briefly switch through and just check those other things we've been watching for trap behavior. Okay, we see here that the 10-year yield was able to confirm up potentially here in about 44 minutes. We'll see if that confirmation is good. And that suggests that an upside move can come. Now we'll see if that is able to fail with Jerome Powell by rejecting and turning back down here on this MACD. But we see here that the dollar is very, very on edge here, very close to crossing up. We see that volatility is still kind of playing around down here. We're going to talk about that. And we see that US oil has overall confirmed with the RSI and the price action a few times now, but not necessarily the MACD. All of these, the 10-year yield and the US oil, you have to be watching for these things, because if these things confirm up, it is in a positive trend, which suggests you can test all the way up into these levels and even go make a new high. So I want to be very clear about that. We would be looking for a failure with some potential moves. You add in all of this and you add in something like earnings with Jerome Powell speaking, it's just a recipe for a massive move. It's kind of like the perfect storm to see, perfect storm to see kind of a big move going on in the next trading session. And that is proven with some other data that we're going to give you in this video. And we want to note here that even though we're talking about some things that did cause a major sell-off not long ago, right? The 10-year yield popping, oil popping, and things like that, we still are looking at the indicators, and they're suggesting that even if we went through some turmoil for a few weeks, hey, that's in positive territory. So it's very, very probable to create a higher low. We will still be paying attention to any kind of reversal signals and things like that. But as of right now, the daily scale, hey, higher low is what we're really looking for. So the 2-hour chart is going to be important here. We're going to go over this very, very briefly. We see here, because I think the Qs are a little bit more important, and there is something that I think is very nice with IWM in relation to the SPY. But we do see here that this has gotten bigger. Now, this makes total sense from our video yesterday. Yesterday, we were suggesting, hey, you could kind of see kind of a little bit of a move down, a little bit of a move up, but most likely you're not going to see anything crazy today, because the big players or traders out there will most likely be reacting to the Fed interest rate decision and that Fed press conference after they get some questions. And most likely he will be asked about Iran, so we'll see what takes place. But notice your daily expected moves are bigger for tomorrow. So this makes total sense. We see it happening in real time. This is perfectly fine. 718.15 to the upside. We have 705.21 to the downside. We notice the rejection divergence taking place right here. Now, it's not necessarily rejection divergence here on the RSI. That is very significant for the RSI. So I'm not a big fan of rejection divergences, but we do see this on the Qs. So we're actually going to switch over to the Qs right now and talk about this divergence, because this is a good confirmation. Okay, so hopefully you got those levels for the SPY. If you need to go back and pause the video to get those really quickly for tomorrow, that would be great. But we notice that this is at the same time, right? I actually see the curving up, the confirmation of more upside, and then we see that start to fade off very, very quickly. I like these looks a lot better. I think they tell a better story as far as risk goes. This is a signal that you see a lot of the time before you end up getting some sort of daily retracement. And the Qs, truth be told, could retrace all the way down to 600. If they really want to take care of the gap, that would be a little bit risky in my opinion, but we'll do our job if that takes place, noting that the MACD is extremely positive, so a higher low is way more probable at this point. But you do have 2-hour divergence. and we want to let the market prove itself and react during these times, right? I usually do like to stay away from earnings, so this is very, very nice, but I might have to make decisions potentially with some things going on. So the daily expected moves for the Qs here, 667.17 to the upside, 647.89 to the downside. Note that 647.89 is really close to the bottom side weekly expected move. We would be looking for some kind of move like this. And then, hey, if I don't play this divergence or anything like that, and I want to take some kind of downside play, you look for that kind of counter move where the 2 hour is able to roll in this case. So that is something to really watch out for. Another thing is, what about failure? Because these things are confirmed. It's saying, yeah, we're going down, we're going down, we're going down. Well, what if that fails, even for a brief moment, and maybe I need to switch around? Well, the 30-minute confirming up here right by the center line would be a failure of that signal. That still could potentially go into positive territory, especially early on in the day. So if that is able to take place, that would be a what? A higher, higher, higher low, which means we could test into these levels, maybe take care of a gap, or even go up to 667.17. If we go up to those levels and we get a surprise, watch for any kind of divergences really, really close to the center line here. That can tip you off that even if the 2 hour wants to confirm up for a moment here, it is very likely to, sorry about that drawing, it is very likely to roll. So I wanted to point that out. Complete failure of this signal would be the 2 hour confirming up, but paying attention in these areas. This is an event that a lot of the time you see big wicks, you see random traps and things like that intraday. So just be prepared for it. I really wanted to talk about IWM with a solid point. Notice we have the left head and right shoulder drawn up here, the right shoulder that could have been, which we're very likely to create. But you notice something interesting here for IWM. IWM just kind of coiled up here and still by that center line. So if the 2 hour is able to confirm up here, it is suggesting testing the high and maybe even going to make a new one. So just pay attention if the 2 hour is able to curl up on these indices, on the MACD itself by the end of the day. That would be a very, very good hint that you could see some sort of extension, but understand risk is elevated with the things we talked about in the beginning of the video, with the fact that Jerome Powell is talking, with the fact that we have earnings. You have a recipe, kind of a perfect storm for tricks, traps, but it will end in some kind of big move. Now, why do I keep saying it will end in some kind of big move, and how could I overall talk about this? How could I display this? How could I show this to you guys? And what could you put on your charts? Just put on a simple Bollinger Band, right? This is actually a very good way to look at markets, because you'll notice that during the squeezing, we have a lot of distance, right? We usually have a lot of distance, a lot of distance, a lot of distance. Then you go through this period of time where you're coiled up. So as the market does start to produce some big upside and then stall out, you notice that it's kind of coiling up. And if that coiling up ends up pushing to the upside, we can break through and see an extension of this. If we break to the downside and start to see lower highs, we can actually start to create that right shoulder that could have been. So a good way to just understand or get a good understanding of, hey, how does the market move consistently over time in the IWM, SPY, Qs, and pretty much any chart you look at? You can pull up a Bollinger Band and say, hey, am I in an expansion period here? Am I in a contraction period? And as of right now, you are in a contraction period right before a big event, right before some large earnings after that event, while things like the 10-year yield, the dollar, US oil, and the VIX are all trying to curl up potentially on daily charts, but we're going to go over volatility in a second. So I just wanted to display that. I think that's a very cool thing. Now I'm going to take that off for the time being just to read off those daily expected moves. Daily expected moves here, we see 277.52 to the upside, 270.32 to the downside. Once again, implied volatility increasing. This makes total sense. This is kind of probably the event that people were looking for to actually make decisions. So we'll see what takes place. But one thing that we can notice here is still that 2 hour. I think IWM is the best one to watch here. If the 2 hour confirms up here, then I should expect some sort of upside move. And maybe we have one more push left in us, and then we watch out for any kind of 2 hour divergence that's actually on your MACD, that's actually on your RSI at the same time. I know that the Qs are showing it, but I want to, I want to be open to seeing it on the SPY. I want to be open to seeing it on IWM and overall reacting, because we notice here that volatility is turning down. Now, it's very rare that I have to do this, but because of the choppiness of volatility, because still some players, you know, behind the curtain, our overall hedging at this point, you see that it's starting to go down. The 4 hour was able to cross down in negative territory. That does suggest that since it's negative, we can come down to these levels, even make a new low, but we will be watching out for any kind of 4 hour divergence for volatility. So if I'm worried that there's going to be some kind of massive upside move, what can I watch? Well, I can watch the 2 hour chart for IWM. If that confirms to the upside and no failure takes place, always have a plan for if you are wrong. That is what we always say on this channel. Always have a plan, kind of like a stop loss, right? It's just having a plan for, hey, do I need to get out of this? Is this failing? That would be a good idea. But if the 2 hour is able to curl up, what does that tell you? That you're likely to go make a new high. You have consolidated, you are tight with the Bollinger Bands, and so an expansion move right now would make sense. And then shortly after that, I want to watch out for divergence. Now, what's the thing that I can pay attention to if we're going to head down, though? Well, I'd really be watching this 4 hour chart from volatility. Remember, volatility opens at about 2 a.m. You can even look at futures if you really want to and see if that's able to curl up on the 4 hour. If that happens, you do have some risky things going on for volatility. You could create potential higher lows. You could create potential divergences. So the risky thing would be volatility curls up on the 4 hour chart. The overall bullish thing would be IWM, or even I would say the SPY is able to curl up on the 2 hour chart. So these are the things that I'm mainly paying attention to right now. I'm looking at the market. I think it is slightly overpriced and needs some sort of retracement to go higher because it seems like a little bit of an unhealthy move at this point. But I let the market do what the market wants to do, right? I'm not in control of if the price can go up or down. I just pay attention to the signals, look for my potential edge, and use the information, use my skills to make a great decision when I do have that edge. So I hope that this video was overall helpful to you, and we will have more updates tomorrow. I'm even trying to set aside some time for a potential live video um, in the last hour of the day. I think that that would be a lot of fun. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys were able to take something helpful away from it. And other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Peace out.